Hey everyone, it's Prep for Life, and I wanted to do a quick holiday update. For any of you still looking for a gift out there, definitely want to recommend Nexbelt, both for men and for women on your shopping list. If you've got an EDC loadout, an everyday carry that you usually have on you, you've got to have a good and reliable belt. I've been very impressed with Nexbelt so far. You can check out my previous video here, and they just sent over the new to be released Rogue belt. This is just getting up on their website right now, and I'm super excited to check it out right here. Brand new, the Rogue has a really cool look, very classic leather design, nice attention to detail. There you go. Fantastic. So for any of you not familiar with what a ratchet belt does, if you haven't seen my last video, you'll notice that there is a series of notches rather than holes. And so what happens is you pass the belt through, it has a little catch right there. This little knob right there is going to catch on each of those little steps, and you're going to hear a ratchet sound as it goes through. So you're going to get a perfect fit every single time. And to release, there's a little button right there that you hold, and you can pull it right out. They use a heavy magnet right there that's going to keep that engaged until you actually press on the buckle. Now what sets these guys apart from other ratchet belts in the industry is the way that the belt is manufactured. So you're going to see there's a few layers here. One of those is a very rigid composite material that's running throughout the belt. It's going to make this thing very, very rigid and make it very good for handling a gun loadout. Not to mention there is a rubber layer that's going to keep it from absorbing moisture. It's going to wear extremely well, and it's going to handle the gear that you wear on a day-to-day basis. One thing to mention though too is as I am fitting this to my waist, I am going to give it maybe an extra inch or two in leeway, just because I do carry inside the waistband every once in a while. So I want to give it a little bit of play in there, but you'll notice how long that zipper is. That's another thing that distinguishes Nexbelt from the industry. It gives me a lot of play in terms of how tight or how loose I want to have this. So, you know, again, whether you're carrying outside the waistband, inside the waistband, you don't necessarily have to have a belt for each of those occasions. Let's get this thing measured and give it a try on my waist. So what I typically will do with one of these belts is I'm going to pass it through about the length that I want it to be. So that's about as much tail as I typically want, because I know that that's going to go through my belt loop right there. Okay, pass this around my waist, you know, keeping that belt buckle in the center. I'm going to get it about to where I would want it, right about there. I've got my measurement. That's about where I would have put it anyway, just by guesstimating. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Just make sure you got a good pair of scissors, because like I said, these things are stiff, rigid belts, and they mean business. I might just quickly take a lighter and zip it along the edge real quick, just to kind of tie up any loose ends. What I'm going to do now is just pass that right in and take those little teeth that you see there, push those right into the belt. So that on its own, that's where most belt manufacturers stop. But for an added measure, we're going to go ahead and open up this package, grab our 2 retention screws. Looks like they gave me an extra just in case, which I love. And I'm going to go ahead and put those in. They already put a little bit of Loctite on this screw. I just put it in. You know, it doesn't have to go too far. You don't want this thing to go all the way through. Awesome. Looks great. Try the other one. These are to ensure that you have plenty of strength regardless of what you're going to be carrying around. Now that, you know, we're around the holidays, the weather's a little colder, I find myself really doing a lot of outside the waistband carry because it's just comfortable, you know, and I've got the jacket. I usually have the clothing that I can hide it just fine. I know the other belts that I've had from other manufacturers, they kind of swivel right here. These guys don't, because they've locked this whole thing in. You'll see that that's not just a pin in there, that's actually a hex screw, and that thing is going to hold very, very tight. With my previous Nexbelt, I've not had any issues with this thing coming apart, having any failures. It's just been phenomenal, and I've worn it basically every day since I got it and did that video. So let's try this out. I've had a couple weeks with this thing, and I like it. Using it pretty regularly, I have been impressed. Just like with my other Nexbelt, it tends to be just the one that I'm going to grab, even though I've got some good, you know, competitor brands that are the nylon, kind of pull tight, adjust fit. This thing just is nice and light. This has a great classic look that I've really been impressed with, that kind of that leather with the classic buckle. Again, depending on what your style is, this might be a great fit. So rugged, durable, I've had no issues with it. It's gonna look good with a variety of outfits, and it's gonna handle really any gear that you're wearing with those outfits. So really happy there. These are retailing both in, you're noticing here, the brown leather, as well as a black leather with more of a silver style buckle. They're both $59.99 on the website, but check out the coupon code that we have below and plug that in for 21% off your purchase. They were generous enough to give my viewers a discount, so definitely let them know we sent you, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching.